1915 in Tokyo. He first enrolled in the Seibukan Dojo in 1932 and trained under Morihei Ueshiba for about 8 years. Shioda Sensei graduated from Takushoku University in 1941, entering the army shortly thereafter, where he was sent to China. He began teaching Aikido in 1951, later establishing Yoshinkan Aikido in 1955. Shioda Sensei is the author of numerous books on Aikido, including an autobiography entitled An Aikido Life. He has visited numerous countries abroad to demonstrate and teach Aikido.
これは木の担当ですけどね、これをこう見てるとですね、当たる。こんなことしてやると当たっちゃうんですね。だから我が友来たれりというところでこうやれば、それでこう後ろこうピュッとこうやって、あっとやってて、それであんなとこで、これでいいわけですね。押しば押してもですね、これは倒れる。座れ。これでグッとね、うるさかったらこう挟んでこれで喜びさんで打ち込んでいくわけです。こうやってペンペンとこれおいしょということは、剣の道をすればいい。相手と気持ちをつながらせるんですね。これが一番大事なんです。こう振りかぶってスッとしてこれこれです。これは真剣ですからね。こうやって切れるんです。だからどこでもいいですね。市内だと面ポテトいって面こういきますね。こういうことができます。だからそうじゃなくて当たればどこでもいいわけです。これできる。どこでもいいですね。当たれば変わるんです。これで入る。こうやって入れた時にですね、ただし真ん中にいることはいけない。これを相手がやらないでこれを落っこちたら自分が当たる。だからこういったら必ず横へこう開くということですね。これは入り身というわけでやるわけです。サラサラサラサラこうみんな切ってしまう。それでこっちはいこう救急兵士をさっと今度は一体多ということをご説明いたします。しかし一人の大勢の敵に囲まれた時ですね、今日は2人ですけど、一人と思えということで、そこにいなければですね、自分がいるから捕まる。こう来たらそれから向こうがくっついていくわけですね。そこにいないということですね。ですからシュシュシュシュシュシュこうやっていなければいいんですね。ほら一緒手で敵を持って毒を持って毒を持って毒を制すということですね。相手の敵の方を敵を持ってってやる。そうすれば自分は非常に気持ちよく相手を制することができるわけですね。そして相手も私に対して憎しみは持たなくなる。
Aikido is a martial art created by Morihei Ueshiba Sensei a martial art expert who combined the essence of all schools of traditional Japanese bujutsu with his own inventions. Aikido was made public after the war as a martial art adapted to modern times in both the spiritual and technical sense. The source of Aikido techniques is the wonderful old martial art of Daitoryu Aiki Jujutsu, which is a secret art and a Japanese cultural treasure. Aikido is controlling him. Since Aikido is a pure martial art, it does not include competition, but rather has kata forms, as in the martial arts. Various movements such as standing, seated, front, rear, empty hand against empty hand against weapons, weapons against weapons, and one person against a multiple attack for all types of situations are included. One practices in order to master each kata so as to be able to use it in a real situation. In order to master the basics of Aikido, various movements are practiced. The way to adopt a stance, position the feet, turn the body, and the use of power are especially rational. This is a movement to neutralize the opponent's strength by using his pushing power. Next, we move on to some basic training practices. Reverse pinning from a one-hand grab. Reverse pin from yokomenuchi. Kotegaeshi from shomen tsuki. Ryotemochi shihonage. After repeating these techniques for about 8 months, you will become able to move to the next level of basic training. Hami handachi kokyu nage. Gamen tsuki hiji osae. There is always kokyu power in these techniques. Without kokyu power, techniques are merely forms and will not be effective. This kokyu power can be developed naturally through practice. It is a kind of power which is concentrated and coordinated and which can be manifested in any part of the body whenever necessary. Or vigorously at will, not allowing him to touch you even with one finger while never losing your own balance. Full techniques. A demonstration by Shioda Sensei, true to nature and full of ki. Now we will show a practice for concentrating one's power through slow motion photography. Your entire power can be concentrated at any part of your body at will. This produces an incredible power. The unification of mind and body creates true power. Since the mind manifests itself in the body, the mind controls the execution of technique. You train your body, but in reality, you are training your mind. The next technique is shihonage. This is a technique where the principle of the sword is manifested in the body. It is a method for cutting in all directions using either foot as a pivot. You can throw your opponent in any direction you wish. Now we move on to the irimi
入り技
technique.
に移ります。
You avoid the attacking
相手の
line
動
of
き
your
の線を
opponent
そらして
and enter
それと
into
すれ
his
違う
blind
形
spot
に相
at
手
the
の
moment
近
of
く
the
に入ります。
encounter. At this
こ
point,
の場合
you should
相
not
手
be
を意識
conscious
せず
of your
自然
opponent
に振る舞
and
い
act
相
naturally.
手特有の
In this
奇妙な
manner,
数
many
々
of the
の技が生
exquisite
まれます。
techniques peculiar to Aikido will emerge. Since there are no limitations on where or how you attack anywhere, even his neck or legs. Therefore, since competitive forms cannot be used as practice methods, we practice them as which is permeated with the spirit of ki, you should always maintain a correct mind, display great courtesy, respect your seniors, and love your neighbors. Also, you should have fearless courage in an emergency and be able to control an opponent with one blow. Never be arrogant and always behave modestly. This is the essence of Aikido. Since Aikido practice is never rough, people of all ages and both sexes train. Thus, it is an ideal health method. There are more than 3,000 techniques altogether. When you master the ability to move in unison, hands, legs, and body, and have developed Kokyu power, you become easily able to apply it to all techniques. The training methods we have shown thus far are methods of cultivating Kokyu power. It is this Kokyu power which is the essence of Aikido. Surrounded by multiple attackers, think of them as only one person. When attacked by one, think of him as many. You should always be prepared to deal with many attackers alone and never offer the least opening. When your techniques become advanced, you will not only be able to control your opponent, but also to permit him to willingly surrender his fighting spirit. This is the reason why Aikido is considered a true martial art to be applied for the sake of harmony.